One of the biggest questions about driving an electric car in the cold is keeping warm. Both the batteries and the motor, as well as the passengers, need to keep warm. And Volvo's come up with a very clever way of doing that. I'm here with Annalie from Volvo. Tell me, Annalie, how is this car still warm?
You have to use smart ways of thinking and develop a system that works without a normal combustion engine. So in the C30 Electric we have 3 different heating elements that work smartly together in the rapid heating up process. So you have a fuel operated heater, you have an immersion heater, and you have like a hairdryer element called the PTC element that works together in the beginning. And then when you have reached your temperature in the car after just a few minutes, then the 2 electric ones are switched off, leaving them to drive the car instead for a longer distance.
Now, the immersion heater is an electrical heating element that sits in a bath of water and heats up the water. The water then flows around the car.
Yeah, it heats up the coolant that goes into both the batteries and the passenger compartment.
Now, the PTC is a positive temperature coefficient?
Yes.
And that's an air heater?
Yes.
So that heats just the air, not the water?
Yeah.
And then you've got your ethanol heater,
which works in the same way as the immersion heater,
right,
heating up the coolant and heating the compartment and the batteries.
How long does this last though? I mean, the ethanol tank. How many kilometers can you go?
The ethanol tank is on 12 liters, and in the heating up process you use up 1 liter per hour for just a few minutes then, and then you leave a half liter per hour heating up during driving. So we have calculated in hours instead of driving distance, because it depends on how fast you drive, but 20 to 25 hours without filling up.
If I have a house in the Arctic and I have a charging point in my garage, what's the way that the car will heat then if I use a smartphone app to tell the car I want to leave the house at 7 a.m? How does the car then heat itself up? Is it the same, or does it use a different system?
No, then if you have it plugged in, then you can precondition with a timer that's in the car, so you're not able to program the car from your app or your Android phone. So you have to set a time when you're getting away.
When you leave the previous
And then during night the car will heat up the battery, and 30 minutes before you set the timer it will heat up the cabin for you. So it will be heat in the compartment when you leave.
The final question I have, which is one that a lot of electric vehicle fans come with time and time again, is electric cars are brilliant. Why on earth are you putting in something that is essentially burning a fossil fuel of some description?
That is a question which is very good, and I think it's very interesting, because you don't want to compromise things when you drive an electric car, and comfort and driving range is one of the most critical ones for you as a user. So in this case we want to provide the customer with the solution, but he can choose not to use this one and just run on electricity, but then your driving range will be shorter, and then you make a choice of decreasing your driving range.
And does the heater run on other fuels as well? So could they put a pure biofuel like E100 if they could find it?
No, you can run on E85 bioethanol and on petrol in markets where bioethanol is not available.
Annalie, you look frozen. I certainly am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's how the heating works on the Volvo C30 electric car. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you're not as cold as I am. This is Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield for High Gear Media.